Hi guys. It's been a little while, but I think I'm finally back in the energy where I'm ready to start making videos consistently again for you guys. And to come back, firstly, I am at my aunt's house right now with my son. Maybe he wants to stop by and say hello. Shut the door all the way, baby. Wait, come say hi. Your shirt's on backwards. Yeah. Come on.
I'm gonna take that.
No, it's okay. It's not a big deal.
I'm gonna change it quickly. Or maybe your people who your friends or
I've been sick for the last like week and a half that I've been here. I've been wanting to film. Like I was planning on doing it like the second I got here, but it's just been, unfortunately, like, I mean, it's not unfortunate. I just needed some time to rest, you know? I was lacking motivation, and that's kind of what this whole video is going to be about. Say hi.
hello.
This is my son, Maliki, and this is my YouTube channel, Malik YouTube.
I already know that.
You already know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been on here before, huh?
Yeah.
You've seen it. You know about the YouTube, huh?
I didn't know about YouTube.
I know you do.
I watched it before.
I know. You love YouTube, huh?
Like your videos though.
What?
Like your videos.
You don't love my videos?
I like your videos, but I don't know how to type that.
You know my name, don't you?
Yeah. It's called Mama. But
That's not my name.
but it's Liliana.
Dinwoodey. Yeah, Dinwoodey.
Yeah.
Alright, baby. Go ahead and go play your game again. But say, see you later.
See you later.
This video might not pick up a lot of new people because they might not have the patience for watching this. But this is for my OGs. I want to say thank you to everybody that's like stayed here. I mean, it's not like I've been gone like forever, but it's just like that still wants to watch each video and is still interested in everything that like I have to say and that's going on, even as we kind of like, as I've been going through like all these transitions, obviously. Today's video is about like what I have done in this time that I've been sick and lacking motivation, and kind of like what I'm realizing, like these inner winters, like what they mean for you. Now, if you've stuck around through all the like chitty chat and everything, again, I really appreciate you. But I've really started to conceptualize and realize that like similar to fractals, right? Like if you see a fractal, you see a small pattern that like replicates itself in almost like a spiral format, and it gets bigger and bigger. And as you looked at the zoomed out portion of the fractals, what are you doing? You are? Here, let me open the door for you.
It feels a little hot.
It is a little hot. If you need something, just knock. Okay. If you guys are watching this, like, you're the real one. But, yeah, so you know how fractals, like, within patterns, like, right, like, they start as, like, a small pattern that replicates itself over and over until it makes this, like, larger pattern that also shows the same pattern as the fractal. I feel like that is also how, like, concepts of reality work, right? So, seasons. And, oh, this is, like, a bit of a messy video, you guys. It is what it is, though. I forgot to put in the speaker. See if you can still. I'm trying to feel it. Let's see if you can still, come on, baby girl. Come on, USB-C. This is a personality video, if I've ever seen one. All right. Okay, so I feel like different concepts in reality are like that. Specifically, of course, like the way that things are split up into fours a lot. Like there's four-part things, like a lot of the time in reality, like the 4 seasons, like a lot of the time, like cycles carry 4 different parts. Also interesting, I don't know why the first thing that comes into my head was also like 4 chambers of the heart. I don't know, there's just a lot of things that we see in quarters. And when I look at like the natural progression of seasons, right, where we have winter, spring, summer, fall, it seems as though these concepts exist like at these macro scales so that we can bring them down into micro concepts, or that we can apply them to everything in our lives. Because it seems as though like any rules, it's kind of like the laws of physics and stuff like that, right? Like even these larger concepts are proven to be true within smaller concepts. Like law of gravity exists within, is what keeps us like surrounding the sun, but also is why, you know, like when you drop an apple it falls to the ground. It's like the law, and it's so much bigger than an apple, right? Like gravity still works on an apple the same way that it works for the sun and planets, if that makes sense. And so all of these things exist to help us decode and understand the nature of our reality. When it comes to seasons, we experience these seasons in manifestation, and just our like own manifest destiny is like the word that comes to my head, but like our own journey to our destiny, right? We all experience seasons of inner winter, where our motivation is low, where our energy is low, but our roots are being pushed further down. Our foundation is strengthening, and we are gathering energy for our next spring. And I'm trying to figure out exactly like how these like if these seasons have like a specific schedule, or like how long these seasons are for. And I think it speeds up or slows down depending on like your awareness of it, in a way. Like that's something that I've kind of noticed is I used to have like inner winters that were like literally a year at a time, where I would struggle to do anything for a whole year, and instead of like figuring out and hankering down through the storm, I would like avoid it for as long as possible. And that's something very interesting about this whole concept of these inner winter, inner summer, inner spring, is that like it's still going to happen no matter what, but it's like you have the ability to either lengthen it or shorten it based on your ability to accept it, almost, right? So I used to have these inner winters that were like a whole year long, and I would beat myself up, I would feel shame for it, and I would try to pick myself back up again, and it would like constantly make me feel more drained, more bad about myself, all these different things. But what I've started to realize is that the best way through an inner winter is through it. And by accepting that winter is bound to happen every year, it comes back. Like it's a cycle that always comes back, and it's only a quarter of the year, but it's going to happen. Like no matter what we want, like winter in real life is going to happen, right? Like in Utah, we prepare for snow. Like we have the snow trucks, we have ice melts, and we have like we salt the streets, and we all have winter gear, and we even have made activities out of winter, like, right, like we've gone snowboarding, skiing. You can actually like enjoy yourself, because we've finally come to the point where we just realize like there's no changing the nature of reality. There's only adapting to what already exists. So our inner winter is the same. You need to understand that, like, when it comes to manifesting and like, again, like reaching that, I mean, just life in general, experiencing life, that you're going to experience these inner winters, and that they have their own purpose, the same way winter does for like the rest of nature. And that if we can start like remembering that we are nature, like we are one with nature, we are not these, just like, we're not separate from nature, we are part of it, and we should act accordingly. Like, this is the thing, everybody like that has like these 9 to 5 jobs and all these things, like, and school, we're all expected to like basically have the same energy and drive and all these things throughout the entire year, but that's just not realistic. Like, we are nature too. And so during winter, like, it's natural that, like, they call it seasonal affective disorder, but I feel like it's a natural thing to feel a little bit more down, a little bit more low energy. Why? Because the sun is not there as frequently. Like, we literally have less energy in the environment, as like in our environment as a whole, right? It's a time for reflection. It's a time for pausing and resting. Like, that's literally what's intended. So when we're not able to do that, it creates this conflict, which makes us feel depressed. And I can only say this because I was so depressed during winters. Like, I used to hate the winter, but now I'm just trying to realize, like, as I live this life where I've chosen to just try and align with what God wants for me, and like with more of the natural cycles of life, uh, I've just realized it's best to pause. And again, like, I feel like that's why we have holidays in the winter, to bring some cheer and joy, like, and to just get through it in a way that feels like we're still enjoying it. And yeah. So anyway, moving on back onto our inner winter, it's the same situation. Like, when you know that you're going to have this, you can more like be more prepared for it. And for me, my inner winter is when it's hard, because there, you can't see, everything looks dead, right? Everything looks paused and dead on the outside. Any of your progress might look paused and dead, but it's not paused and dead. You have to trust that it's growing underneath the surface, right? Like, that it's becoming stronger so that it can bloom again, in a way that is sustainable over, as long, as the life of the plant, or as long as the life of you, right? So when you have these concepts or things, it's like winter kind of acts as like this integration time. So those are the times where maybe you need to specifically work harder on like reminding yourself that this will pass. This too shall pass. This phase is only a quarter of the time, and it will pass. And that spring will be coming up soon. And then when you get to spring, spring is more kind of like the seed planting, right? Like, where you start getting these little divine integrations, or these divine inspirations that will hit your mindset, right? Where it almost feels like God is placing things in front of your path to remind you of where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to be doing. He's placing people, opportunities, and I do want to say opportunities, but I think for the spring, it's even more like thoughts. It's just seeds. It's like these planting of ideas in your mind, and it's almost like a dandelion, when someone blows a dandelion and the seeds just get planted all over, right? It feels almost like that, where it's like all these seeds that are coming onto you, like, are being blown onto you, of seeing maybe different types of animals, and seeing like something maybe pops up on your feed of like a place that you've always wanted to go. You start seeing it more frequently. But like these seeds of the ideas that you're next supposed to reach, or next supposed to kind of like come into fruition, start coming into your life. Then when we go into fall, or sorry, then when we go into summer, that's when we get that full bloom. Of course you start to bloom in spring as well, but I do feel like summer, it's like the fruit of the seeds that were planted. It's like the spring, those seeds get planted, and yeah, honestly, those opportunities start to come in for you, right? And that's kind of like the bloom, the birth of it. And then when sorry, I keep getting a call, but I'm gonna finish this video before I answer it. But then in the summer, there's this full like fruition, right? Where maybe you actually see the manifestation come to pass, the one that the seeds have been planted for, right? But then after summer, which is like this big release of energy, right? Like it's this buildup that happens from winter. Winter, you know, like is where we're gathering our energy. Spring is where we're starting to like bloom. We're starting to see these little seeds and everything kind of like be planted. Summer, you really see like the fruition, you see the reality of it. And then fall comes to like harvest of the concepts that you've learned and gratitude for what has occurred, like a lot of reflection as well. And then you go back to winter, which is more like, again, rest and reflection centric, like where you really do need to like lean into rest and reminding yourself that the cycle will begin again, and it always does, right? So I wrote down, and I'm gonna just like talk to you about this and then go, because I know I've had like kind of a long scattered video, but again, I'm very excited because I'm gonna really start. I'm like, it's done, this is it, like I'm ready to get back into videos. Like I've been missing it a lot. But I wrote something about when you lack motivation, and I want to share it with you, and then we're just going to keep seeing where this channel goes. Like this video is not my best one or whatever, but we're just going to keep on refining them and kind of get back on track with everything. And maybe I'll also have like an update video for you guys soon as well, kind of explaining what's been going on in my life, because there's been a lot of changes. When you lack motivation, some days are so tough. Some days you want to give up, regardless of knowing how far you've come and where you're logically headed. These days exist to bring you down to the level of your shadows, so that ignoring them can no longer be an option. When your greatest problems are magnified, it allows you to organize them by importance. Importance is measured by the level of discomfort they give you. You may then begin to work on the shadow by meeting and tackling it. When you are in the shadows, you are best suited to do the shadow work. Explain what thoughts and feelings you are having. Identify the ones that come from discomfort, find their origin, and rationalize them. So that's another thing that I want to talk about when it comes to this inner winter, is the darkness that you experience in the inner winter allows you to kind of like look in the eyes of your shadows. Because when you're waiting for that like next big thing, it's like you have to use more of that logic, right? To remind yourself that logically these things are coming, even if it doesn't look like it externally. That is not even, it's not logical that this cycle is not going to come back and you're not going to like, it's basically like thinking like night is never going to turn into day. Like it is illogical to think like the good is not coming for you. And so basically, instead of like being sad and getting engulfed by your shadows, it's a time for you to look at which shadows still remain, which ones are disturbing you the most, are making you doubt yourself the most while you're in that inner winter, if that makes sense. That's why I really liked this concept. Like for the last few days, like I've been looking at like, okay, what is it that's still like affecting me? Because I'm here in this inner winter, and I could like look my shadows in the face and see like which ones are still here, which ones are the loudest, right? Like which ones, like there were certain shadows that were telling me like, no, like you're crazy, like that still exists for me, right? Like, and I'm trying to like see eye to eye with it and let it go. But like when I get into the shadow mode where I'm not seeing things happening in front of me in that mode, like in that moment, in that inner winter, then I can start to like doubt myself. And so it's like reminding myself that that's still there instead of getting engulfed in it, just realizing like, okay, like that's the thing that keeps pestering me right now, is like this shadow of doubt, of feeling crazy, of not being able to see fully my manifestations yet, that I've all the ones that I've been asking for, and not having that full success quite yet, to the point where it makes me feel crazy. But it's like, it's time for me to let that go, right? Because like there's so much, it's so clear, right? It's so clear that so many of my manifestations have come to pass, that I have done the inner work for so long. Like logically, it just makes sense that I'm going to be successful. And I had to tell myself that through the inner winter, through the shadows, so that maybe I can like sit with my shadow, meet it, talk to it, have dinner with it, and then let it go. Like it's time to let it go. Anyways, when you're in this moment, explain what thoughts and feelings you are having, identify the ones that come from discomfort, find their origin, and rationalize them. I also started to realize that like I still have like a very hard time with money. And I was like, where is that like even coming from? Like, where is this like fear of like money not coming in coming from? And I realized that like, my family has never had like a relationship with money that felt stable. Like my grandparents and aunts and uncles on my mom's side always had money and still have money. As you can see, like this is a beautiful place. But we didn't. Like my parents didn't. We lived with my grandparents and we never had a house of our own. And we struggled. We got what we wanted. Like if we needed something, we got it. Like I never was like hungry, because like at the end of the day, like it would never go that far. But we struggled. It was hard. Like it was hard. I don't know. There's a lot that comes with it, right? Like it's more like the emotional stress. It's not about like not getting the things I wanted, but like feeling the constant fight or flight, like emotional, like unsafe, like instability in my house was really hard. And I started to realize like that I crave that stability, but that I also expect for that instability to consistently come back into my life. And so that's why I have a hard time expecting myself to win and to be successful, because I just am so used to things coming and going. Like my grandparents had money on my dad's side when I was a kid, and we stayed with them. But by the time by the time I was like 25, we were selling the house because my family was totally bankrupt. And my grandmother had passed away. Thank goodness she didn't have to see that whole thing go down and us sell the house and everything. But then I lost both of my childhood homes. And for me, I just feel like I've never had any sense of full stability, right? And so I was able to actually rationalize that and look at them in the face while I was sitting there. And by doing that, I was able to release the fear that I had had. So really that's what this is about, right? Is like being able to like look at and then release those fears so that you can be better prepared for your next spring and summer. Next, remind yourself of how far you've come. Look at all of the answered prayers. Write a list. Step back into the mind of your version of you who prayed for days like this. Think about how desperately you once desired the things you have today. So that's going back to like what I was saying, is like if you're in this moment of like low motivation, like if you're in this inner winter, you need to step back into the mind of the version who prayed for the days that you have right now. Like, I mean, I prayed for this freedom. I prayed for the ability to kind of live the life that I wanted to live, while also not having to worry about money for at least a little bit, right? Or even to feel more aligned with myself, even if I don't have money at this time, like to feel more aligned, to feel more abundant. And then I'm looking at like, the manifestations that I've had come to pass over the last few months. And I just remind myself like everything I've prayed for is coming true. Like I'm starting to get more stability within my family. Me staying at my aunt's right now has been an incredible experience, because we honestly haven't really talked much in the last few years. And this has allowed us to kind of come back to one another. Like there's so much clear purpose in me being here. And so it's just, I have to remind myself, like, there's reasons for everything that's happening. I've come so far, and logically, again, this cycle is going to continue. It's not going to just stop at winter. Remind yourself that you can't give up because you've come too far. There's too much that's happened. Like, think about who you were when you first started, a whole different person. And if that person saw you where you are today, and then they saw you give up, it would be like one of those memes that you see where the guy's like digging for gold and he turns around the second that he's like this close to the gold. That's what it'd feel like. So when you like remind yourself of these things, if you have a list of like the accomplishments or things that have happened, it's really good to bring out at this time and just read and remind yourself, like, this is just it's just winter. It's just winter. Put on your coat, maybe make some holidays for yourself. Go snowboard, find new ways to find joy, and just wait it out. Like, this is the time that I'll be going to the gym a little bit more, but while I'm at the gym, maybe I'm not going as hard, but I'm focusing more on like the sauna and rejuvenation and like being able to sustain myself through this hard time. Remind yourself that the motivation always comes, the good always comes. Again, it's the same thing as the cycle. The motivation will come back. It always comes back. You don't have to feel bad about yourself that your motivation isn't here right now. Because for what is destined for you will have to happen. It will find you. It gravitates towards you. It always comes. Day always comes after night. It's illogical to think that it'll be night forever. It's illogical to think it'll be winter forever, that it'll be cold forever, because that's just not how this life works, okay? There's cycles. All you must do is anchor down and ride the waves. That's exactly what you need to do when it comes to this inner winter. Anchor down, like ground yourself, realize, like that's what all of this is for, right? Reminding yourself, rationalizing. It's to ground yourself so that you know, like, realistically, like what's coming next. It's not that it's just going to stay this way forever, but that like you're exactly where you're supposed to be, right? It's just a nature of reality that you're gonna have to like accept and adapt with. At the end of the day, nature is very, very powerful, and you just have to understand that there's some things that we just have to adapt to. It's like, you're not going to change the fact that winter comes. I mean, maybe if enough of us like collectively like thought about it, maybe you could. I don't know. I mean, consciousness is so powerful, but like at the end of the day, it's like we need to learn to ride the waves instead of consistently trying to swim against them and be more powerful than them. I mean, birds fly because they find like the currents of air and they glide with them. It's not that they're more powerful than the air, it's that they use it to take them where they want to go. It's the same way when you're swimming. It's best to like get into a current and let it take you where you want to go. Like a river will take you to a destination way faster than swimming upriver. You know, like you just have to use reality like in a like co-creative type of way, because it allows you to get further. Start to come back to your intention. Remember what you're doing all this for. Like, come back to like what you're doing all of this for. And in order to kind of like transition it back into that inner spring, you need to start thinking and planting those seeds also yourself. Like, God's going to start planting them, but you also need to do your own part in preparing to plant them yourself simultaneously. Like, that's where you can start journaling, planning, setting goals, setting intentions, thinking about like what your next step will be. You don't have to necessarily have the energy to take the actions, but you need to start planning for what your intentions are going forward. And I realized that like when you do that, it kind of almost sets up like this catalyst for like where it stimulates the soul, preparing it and priming it for action. Because the faster you can get your body ready for the seed planting, that you can start setting intentions, that you can start planning, even if you don't necessarily use like the exact schedule that you lay out for yourself. That intention setting alone is what's going to bring in this spring again, right? It's going to bring in the energy for action. It's like that intention setting. When you start thinking about these things more and more and more, the energy starts getting built up, like this potential energy for you to take the action until it's built up to the point where the action has to occur. And you have to go take steps towards what it is that you're wanting to do because you're so motivated towards it. You're so inspired by it. It gets your wheels turning and excited to start in your action. So this is how I've come back to my motivation for making videos. That's how I've gotten to this today, is for the last week I have been sick, and I've started to just accept that when my energy is a certain way, or that I'm sick, that there's a reason for it, right? There's a reason I'm sick, and I need to just, like, it's a physical manifestation of, like, what I actually need to accept as my reality at that time. Yeah. If that makes sense. It's a physical manifestation of the fact that I need to kind of lay back and rest and reflect. I find that when we are sick, that is like a sign of your inner winter is occurring at that time. It's like forcing you to see it. So I started like planning videos and doing all these things and like planning. And I started going back to the gym and doing all these things to try and like start building my energy back up so that I can like fully come back to YouTube like with a force, right? Because that's my next thing. Like I feel so called to doing it. So hopefully this video helped you understand like that this inner winter will always come, and that there are ways to get through it a little bit more easily. So if you lack motivation, just accept that. Accept that your body isn't motivated right now, and rest yourself to regain energy, and start setting intention and getting your brain excited for the next steps. And that will build energy in its own as well simultaneously. Instead of fighting it, you're building your energy back up to get back to what you want to be doing faster. Instead of saying like, I should be doing this and I should be doing that, just accept it for what it is right now, that you don't want to be doing that right now, and like rest and prepare for when you do, and then that will inevitably come. But this is a very long video. This might be my very longest video. They're not all going to be like this going forward, but I'm back, you guys. I feel good. We're going to get back into it. There's going to be messages after messages. I'm trying to decide if I want to do daily videos or what I want to do, but thank you so much if you made it this far. For people that have made it this far, I have like some exciting products coming that are very aligned. I am also wanting to do 15 to 30 days of one free reading a day or coaching. I'm kind of just figuring out exactly how I want to word that. But I'm just excited. Like, this is it for me. Like, I've decided like YouTube is it for me, and I'm ready to go all in, and I'm ready to really provide value to you guys in the way that I know I can. But yeah, thank you so much. There's going to be a lot of updates coming forward, and no more waiting weeks at a time for my videos, you guys. We're going to be having videos like pretty consistently. So have a good rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you a lot more now. So see you later, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.